Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I want to build me a pine smoker. Looked like fun. Basically, a pine smoker was as simple as a large, decent sized box with some grates in there, and in the bottom was a couple hot plates. And there you go. But I was telling this story to a buddy of mine, Todd Ford. As we were standing there, he said he had a charcoal smoker that he couldn't stand. He said that he basically had to babysit it all day, and I could have it. So I thought about it, and I took him up on his offer. So I went over and got his charcoal smoker. It's a Grill Pro. It's in his backyard. Looked like it'd been there a while, as you can tell. Looked a little weathered. But the box is in good shape. So I took the challenge. I'm basically going to make an electric smoker out of this charcoal smoker. And I'm going to use the same method I would have used for a pine smoker. I'm going to use a couple hot plates. Now, I looked and looked for a hot plate. I wanted plenty of wattage, but I found a 1100 watt hot plate for $15 at Walgreens. I bought 2 of them. The only problem with them is one, there's a couple problems. One, as you can see, there's one hot plate in the bottom, and the second one surely won't fit there. So I stuck them both in there, one on the bottom and then one slightly above it on a rack, and fired them both up. That thing shot up right now, so there's plenty of power. The problem is there's lots of plastic parts to that thing, so this thing's up to 250 degrees, and I got all these plastic parts in there, and it just wasn't right. Matter of fact, the top one melted a little bit, and I only had it on for maybe 25 minutes. So that was the second problem, is the plastic parts in it. So what I'm going to do is, besides totally revamping this thing, I'm going to paint it and clean it up and dress it up. I might even paint some flames on it to make it look cool. But you can buy one of these charcoal smokers for $100. But a nice electric one costs you a couple $100, $230, depending on what model you want. Your cheapo model you can probably get for $160, $170. So right now Todd gave me this, and I basically spent $30 on those heating elements. And I went out today and bought a few little things because I got another idea. So basically what I did is I took the one hot plate and I took it apart. So my idea is this can sit side by side with another one right there. We'll make a new metal bottom on it. I'll bend that and put that down in there. And I'm going to rewire this. I'll keep the switch. The switch works. And I'll just mount a metal box on the side with the switches. I got a box here somewhere. Right here. So I'm going to mount that box right on the side. A couple buttons on there. And there shouldn't be anything in the melt in there. I've got some heat tape for, I couldn't find this wire. I could have ordered it, but I just bought some regular 14 gauge wire that I'll wrap with heat tape. There won't be much of it underneath there. A lot of it will be outside. So, alright, well, here's where I am so far. I made a little modification, I guess. I decided to just to use the charcoal box that came with the bottom of the smoker instead of making my own box out of some cheap metal. Pretty sturdy. So far I've dismantled both the hot plates. Again, I just got them down to the coil, the element, and a switch. And it's fairly simple. If you took a cord that has 2 wires to it and connected it, one wire to them, one wire to each one of those, it would heat up. What the switch does is one of the wires goes directly to here. The other wire is broken up by these 2 connectors here. And so this controls the heat. So basically my intention is to basically rewire it and have a couple switches. This one's done. It worked. I checked it out. And basically just, if we can see this, I soldered a couple wires to it, cut a hole in the box so it came down in here. I'm going to put another one obviously right here and have the two burners, and I'll heat tape all this and bring it right out the back side of the charcoal smoker. So, and that'll be all that it's exposed. And I think the heat tape will protect that pretty good, and it can handle some chicken fat and pork loin grease and everything else, and I should be okay with it. So like I said, I've dismantled the second one and I'm about to install it. When I get all four wires brought out here, my goal too is just to use one power cord, so instead of two. Once I wire it up in a box, but I'll show you that when I'm done. Alright, so here's where I am this morning. Both the burners are installed. Again, I cut a couple 14 gauge wires I soldered to the bottom, so pretty tight. I'll end up wrapping that in some heat tape. One change I did do is the switches that came with the original hot plate was chump. I didn't like them. So what I did was I went out and bought me two just light dimmer switches, and I had an old extension cord that I got rid of the lampshade cord that came with it. But yeah, worked great. I just plugged it in and it definitely adjusted it. Again, the only thing I'm really checking the adjustment with is the thermostat that's on the front, so this thing works great. Pretty simple. I mean, I'm no electrical engineer, but constant flow with power to one side and break the power and adjust the power to the other side. Pretty simple. So I'm ready to put this thing in there, drill the back of it, and mount the box and set these switches. So stand by. All right, well, it's going on 1 o'clock. I think I got her done. You can see it's been on, took it about 15 minutes, and it's pushing 300, which I don't want it at 300, but I got her both maxed out. Both you can see I got my controller on the back plugged into a 20 amp circuit so it can handle the power. Again, I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to lower it about halfway. Let's see if it turns it down and it drops back down. I'll open it up in a bit, but right now 300. I don't want that. I did wrap all the wires with heat tape and everything else, so there shouldn't be anything to melt in there, but let's wait here for about 15 minutes and see if it drops back down to 250. So it's 12:59 right now, and I just turned one down halfway. I'll be back. All right, well, again, since I don't have electronic controls on this, it took me some playing, but we're holding right at 250. So basically what I did was, initially it got up over to 325 by opening both side vents. Initially got her to lower, so by opening the back up that much and putting both knobs about halfway, which I think I'll get on here and I'll mark this, you know, what's middle, back, end, start, kind of give me kind of a rough idea, but both of those are about halfway on. And she's been sitting at 250. You can see 250 now for about 20 minutes. So I don't see any issues. I do have some paint. I want to paint the thing, but I think I'm more excited about smoking something before I paint it. So I think I'm gonna run out and get me some chicken and some ribs and get busy with this thing. So yeah, let's open this up now. So there you go. You can see my two grills and how it's mounted in there. Again, what wire is underneath there is heat taped. So there's no plastic there now. What's one wires, but I don't think that's a big deal. And there you go. I think that's going to be cool. So that's how you take a free charcoal smoker and make it electric. I think I got about 50 bucks in this thing. Like I said, the two heating elements were 15 bucks a piece, and then probably about another 20 bucks worth of parts and pieces just to make the connection and the switches on the back. But there you go. See ya. I'll show you when I grill later. Alright, well, here it is. The new coat of paint on her. One can. Looks like matte black. It's really turned out pretty good, really. Controls on the back kind of marked what was hot, all the way hot, what wasn't. A few new screws, all cleaned up on the inside. You can see the dual burner. Like I said, worked pretty good this morning for sure. I drop this heat, so my chips will go right there. I'll probably set this pan right on the chips, I would think. A little water in it. There you go. Alright, tomorrow I'm smoking ribs. Pretty sweet. See ya.